Good morning. Saturday the 24th of March. It's been just over 4 weeks now since I did my monthly video, so thought I'd give you a few minutes and show you and explain what's going on in the greenhouse grow. Outside, nothing much happening still. It's been really wet, a lot of cold weather, lots of snow, so I haven't got to anything outside. A little bit behind the last year, but I'm sure, looking at the forecast, temperatures are stabilising a little bit over the next 2 weeks. Sort of minimum temperature at night is 2, 3, 4 degrees, and then we're hitting into the doubles, 10, 12 degrees outside, so I'm sure we'll get to doing some work outside. Inside the greenhouse, everything is doing okay, I think. Main focus over the last month has been the big onions, keeping a close eye on those, which I'm really pleased with. They're now on 12.5 hours daylight. Daylight hours go forward this weekend, so I'll adjust the timers with that. So yeah, really pleased, and quite some way ahead of this time last year. So I've got 2 batches of onions, some bigger, some smaller. They were sown at different times back in I think late October and the middle of November. So anyway, enough of me waffling on again. I will turn the camera around, hopefully you'll be able to see it okay, and I'll just show you what's going on grow wise. Okay, so hopefully you will be able to see. Big onions, I've got 5 that are doing really well, that were sown I think the last week in October. They're now being watered at around where are we to? About half a litre a day into the 50 litre air pots. Still under LEDs, but really pleased with these. I'll give you some sort of perspective of how big they are. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, they've got around 14 leaves on now, I think. Some are slightly ahead of others, but progressing well, and very happy. Smaller onions, like I said, sown a bit later. They've got producing quite a few leaves now, not bulbing at all, or very slightly, and just producing some nice long necks. They are again on 12.5 hours daylight. They're getting auto drip of water, but there's no added NPK in that water at all. It's just living off the nutrients in the soil. Whereas the bigger onions now, I've added some NPK to try and replace some nutrients that the plants are taking up. Got some added CO2, but now probably next week I'll remove them now that the plants have got a lot more leaves and a lot more stable. I don't think they require the CO2 at all, and I've also read that it can be counterproductive to have too much CO2 at this time of year once the plants become mature. Other things, show onions, disappointed to say the least. Started them back in, I think it was middle of December. They've been potted on last weekend, but I don't know why. I don't know if it's seed, but they're really not moving that quick. Nothing like they should be, although they haven't had any extra light, but I'd have thought they'd be a bit further on. Tomato plants, just eaters there, various types. What have we got? Gardener's Delight, a bush tomato, F1 tumbler, and a Lisa Craig, just for eaters really. Chili plants, potted on last weekend, as you can see, really leggy. So not ideal, but not concerned, because once they go into the auto watering system, they will go deep, so probably 2/3 of the plant will be covered. Again, as explained last month, the leeks, plants leeks, okay, but nowhere near the plants they were last year. Last year, I think this time last year I had about 12-inch blanches on, and they were 3 times the size. So as you can see, they're okay. Maybe they've just come late, but definitely not where they want to be, where they were last year. More chili plants, so various types. Some show chilies, which are like ornamentals, which there's a couple of shows early August, late August that I will be using them for. And then some space chilies, which grows some very big chilies, very, very nice tasting. Great. So just bedding plants, dahlias and begonias now all coming through quite nicely. We'll be taking some cuttings off these now. Yep, that's about it. Sweet peas, just for, not for show, just for the garden. 3 or 4 different types. They're doing well, pinching them out regularly. More flowers, salvias, and that's about it. So really happy. Once again, as I said earlier, main focus is the big onions. Yeah, so nothing more to say really, apart from I'll keep these chugging along, and I'll do another video update at the end of April. Thanks for watching, and speak to you soon.